Hello everyone, it's Dawn with Shall We Stamp coming to you from the Villages, Florida. Let me get my comments loaded in. Hope everyone's doing well. Please make sure, since we're in the group, that you put your name in the comments when you make your comment. As I've mentioned before, this Facebook doesn't allow the groups for us to be able to see the name. So if you forget, that's okay, but if you don't mind, that would be great if you would do that. And I am about a minute or so early, so we'll just give it a few minutes for everyone to start coming on. Hope y'all are doing well. So I'm just going to sit here and just wait a few minutes. I've got the comments loaded in. At least I think I do. So, anyways, it's not quite, I think it's 7 o'clock right now. So, of course, my nose starts itching. Go figure that one, right? Okay. So we'll give it a couple of minutes and then we'll get started, because I know it's a little bit early for some, not for others. So it's actually starting to warm up here in the Villages, so that's a good thing. Today I think we were in like the low 70s, maybe mid 70s, and then I think tomorrow's Wednesday. I'm not sure if it's tomorrow or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but it's going to be like in the 90s. So we go from one extreme to the other, I swear. But I'm not going to complain because I had the chills the last couple of days. So anyways, hello, Faye from Virginia. How you doing? Everyone, when you come on board, please let me know you're here and where you're from. And make sure that you leave some comments and or share my videos. Your names will go in a drawing for the cards that I'm making this evening. And if you're watching this on YouTube through our replay, you still have time to make comments up until the following Tuesday. I usually go in that Tuesday, usually midday-ish, late afternoon, to draw the names, which I actually just remembered oh, you got the flamingos. I didn't see you make them. Oh my goodness, how did you not see me? Well, that's weird. Hi, Marie. How did you not see him? Because your name, were in the comments. That's interesting. Did you watch that week, Karen Jo? So, I forgot to, the names are on my computer table in my kitchen. So I'll be back in 1 second while we wait for everybody else to come on. So give me 1 minute. I'll let Riley keep you all up to date. Right, you want to say hi to everybody? Because it's National Puppy Day. Okay, I am back. Right, come here. I'm going to get the dog because it's National Puppy Day. Come here, baby. Come on. Let's show your face to everybody. Come here. All right, she don't want to get on the camera, so. All right, we're just going to wait a few more minutes, and we'll get started. I never miss a week. Well, I swear you were on there because I wouldn't have been able to draw your name if you weren't. So, anyways, let me take this thing off. All right. We'll give it a few more minutes. It's a little, I keep getting, I thought I put on here, oh, I didn't do it on here. Now I'm getting all these other text messages coming through. Good Lord. Let's see. So it's National Puppy Day. So if you didn't take a look at my blog, I did put a post on Facebook, but go to my blog at shallwestamp.com. Oh, hello from Ocean View. I wonder who that could be. Initials AB, like in Amy Banks' BFF. So, but anyways, National Puppy Day. So I put a snippet on my Facebook page. Go to my blog at shallwestamp.com and you can read about my rescue of Riley and how we became certified as a therapy team, and what she does as a READ dog, which stands for Reading Education and Assistance Dog. So it was a little bit longer, but I have a before and after picture. So I have a picture the day that we rescued her. She came from the vet. Anyways, we donated money to get her off death row. She went to the vet so they could check her out, and then they go into foster. And she'd only been at the foster home, I think, maybe 2 days. So you have to see the picture of what this dog looked like. It is pitiful. Her hair was all grown out, so you know whoever had her couldn't afford to take care of her, or we don't know what the circumstances were. And then I put a picture of what she looks like. I think the picture I took is maybe about a year old, but she looks the same. She's a she's a tad chunkier because, you know, COVID. But so I tried, hi Judy. I tried to tell everyone that, because I got her off of the Poodle Pooch Rescue. It's a website. They don't have facilities. It's all run by volunteers. And they rescue dogs that nobody else wants. They go puppy mills. They get the old dogs, the ones that, you know, are blind or have one eye or 3 legs or whatever. And they put them into foster. And all of the money is made through donations and what people pay to rescue these dogs. So I read her bio and something about it just struck me. And that's how we ended up, I chose her. So anyways, if you get a chance, it's something you might want to do if you're a dog person. And anyway, so I just, you know, she's my darling. Never had kids. I've always had dogs. So, and she's gone back. I don't know if you can see her. She's hiding. I'm going to move the camera down just a little bit. Let me see if I can get out of the way. Hang on. Whoop. If I don't see her hiding in that corner right there. See that? So she's right there. Anyways. Okay. So hello from Purdue University. Who is that? And where is Purdue? Is that in, is it Illinois? I don't know. I'm bad with geography. Okay, well, it is 7:06, so let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. Again, I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm with Shall We Stamp. I live in the Villages, Florida, which is an over 55 retirement community. And it's a lot of fun. It's a very active community, so if you've not been here, you should make a visit. All right, so I'm going to flip the camera down. We're going to do fun folds tonight, so let me flip the camera. And this is one of the cards that we're going to make. I'm using the Well Done stamp set, which is still active. Now, one thing before we really get started. Tomorrow is the big day. So tomorrow's the big day that the catalog preview comes out for demonstrators. Y'all don't get to see that, but we get to see it. So we get to ooh and ah over what's coming out and what's going to carry over. And then the retiring list is coming out. So now is the time. Oh, how nice. Now is the time, if you need something that's going to be retiring, you need to get it like sooner than later, especially the in colors. I know a couple of the colors are already sold out, so they're not orderable. And we say this every year. So people actually wait until it's, I'm not sure when the catalog will come out or when the retiring list, but people will actually, it's mountain time. So they usually set their clocks, you know, so they can get in on it and get what they want to order. So I'm just putting that out there. If you are going to place an order and if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to have you shop with me. And this is the March's shopping code. If you place an order that's less than $150, then you'll get a free gift from me. If it's over $150, then don't use the host code. Then you'll get all the hostess benefits. All right. So that is all of the housekeeping that I want to do. So now we're going to do a card. So this is the Well Done. I haven't used this in a while, so I thought we'd do a fun fold, and I thought this was kind of cute. Now I cut out from the paper, I cut out the 3 different little turtles, and then it opens up like that, and then I put the paper behind it. Isn't that cute? So that's what we're going to make. We're going to do a different color scheme. So that's going to be our first card. So I'm going to go ahead and move that out of the way. And if Judy Dakota comes on, is that you, Judy, that retired? Oh, wait, which Judy retired from Purdue? Is that Judy Dakota or is that Judy Sedlinski? But if Judy Dakota comes on, Judy, please message me your address. I've started a list and I cannot locate it in PayPal for whatever reason. It doesn't let me go back. For when I do the shipping label. So if you come on, I'll remind you. If you're not on here tonight, I'll send you a message. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started on this card. I'm going to give you all the directions and the sizes. We're going to start with a piece of peacock, pretty peacock. This is retiring. One of my favorite colors. I do want y'all to know that. I'm a house mom at Alpha Phi. Oh, really? How cool is that? That's going to be cool. I worked with the College of Agriculture, Cooperative Oh, how neat. Okay, so it's interesting to find out what everybody has done in their working world. You know, I was a loan officer. I started in banking at the age of 19 as a part-time teller when I went to college. Started at community college, and then stayed in the banking for 37 years, but worked my way up to a middle-level management position, and then went into mortgage lending and retired as a vice president from SunTrust Mortgage. That's what I did. So, anyways. All right, so Pretty Peacock, 4 1/4 by 11. So we are going to score this. Let me get my directions out here. We're going to score this at 2 3/4 on each end. So I'm going to line this up at 2 3/4. All right, so we're going to do 2 3/4. Let me make sure I got my scoring blade, because you never know. So I'm going to do 2 3/4, and then I'm just going to flip it around so we can get to the other one. It'll be a little bit easier. So we're going to do 2 3/4, all right? So if you're taking notes, and I'll try to remember to put this on the screen. I keep forgetting to write the dimensions down on the Facebook page. That's my mistake. Okay, so 4 1/4 by 11, and score each end at 2 3/4. All right, now we're going to, let me move this out of the way because we'll use this later. All right, so let's go ahead and fold our, and this is really an easy card. It's like a gatefold, right? But we're just putting a different take on it. So I'm going to go ahead and just fold these pieces in. And then you're going to use a piece of designer paper. We got to cut this down. So I guess I should bring my I guess I better leave my paper trimmer here, huh? All right, this piece is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So this is, actually, yeah, that's already cut at 4. So we're gonna cut this down to 5 1/4. And I'm using the fish because I want the, we're going to do a fish theme, okay? And I don't know if we'll use that or not, but we'll keep it. I think I've got everything else pre-cut. So this will go on the inside of our card, okay? And we'll layer it in just a minute. So that's going to go inside there. And then we're going to have a piece of Whisper White that is, oh, let me see. What size is this piece? I think it's 3 by, yeah, it's 3 inches by 4 1/4. And that will be our piece that we can write our message on. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that right there for now. I'll set that over here. This goes over there. Okay, let's go through all the different pieces. So we're going to need 2 pieces of Whisper White, or basic white, I should say. I'm still using Whisper White. And these are going to be 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. And then my designer paper, I cut at, I took the one piece that's all one, and I just cut it down. So these are, oh, let me see. Oh, wait, scratch, I'm sorry. Scratch those. That number I just gave you is for these little pieces right here. So just hang on a second on that one. These pieces are, I'm sorry, I'm reading my instructions. I don't know how to read. These pieces are at, okay, 2 1/2 by 4. All right, so 2 1/2 by 4 inches. My apologies. And then we're going to have we've got that. And then we're going to have, we've got this. I did give you these for the Whisper White. Okay, so we've got those. And then we're going to cut three strips of Whisper White. And those are going to be 5/8 of an inch by 3 1/2. Okay, 5/8 by 3 1/2. And then we're going to cut 3 of these little designer series papers at 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4. Okay, so 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4. These Whisper White are 5/8 by 3 1/2. And then these Whisper Whites are 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. And then the designer paper is 5/8. Where are we? Oh, I didn't write that down. Oh, no, I didn't write that down, did I? Well, we know it's got to be, hang on a minute. I'm such a dork. 2 1/2 by, yeah, 2 1/2 by 4. Okay? So all we're going to do is put all this together. We're just going to start layering it together. And I thought I'd put some white on it just so that, you can leave it on the base if you just want to do the base. but I thought we'd add some white just to kind of brighten it up some. So I'm going to go ahead and add these pieces to their card bases. So let's do that. I don't want to get everything mixed. And I'm going to use my favorite glue, my Tombow. So we're doing fishes. Now I haven't decided what I'm going to do on the front. I may or may not put anything. I don't know yet. So we'll see. All right. So I just love this paper. All right. So there's one piece. All right. And then we're going to add this. I told you these are going to be very, whoopsie, look at that. See, I'm moving my stuff around and my glue is giving me time, you know, to move. And I moved it before it wasn't supposed to move. So let me fix that. That's what I get for talking too fast. And hang on a minute. Now I'm going to have to move that. Hang on. Let me fix this. Let me lighten it. Let me open him up here so I can get him in position. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut another piece. So let's see if we can get him lifted up. See what happens when you talk and not paying attention to what you're doing. So we'll just get that up here. Give me 1 second. Sometimes you can get this up without tearing it. And we're going to, there we go. We'll do our best. All right, let's add some more adhesive on the back and see if we can do it right this time. All right. And I'm not going to talk. I'm going to pay attention to what I'm doing. And we'll put this on here and we'll get it straight this time. So let me get this on here. Hang on a minute. It's hard when you're sitting down. You can't, I always stand up or lean over and I don't want to put my head in the camera. So I'm just going to lay that right about there. There we go. And then this little piece, I'm just going to trim that off. All right, perfect. So you don't even know that I made a boo-boo. All right, now we'll do our next piece. And this one I will not talk while I'm trying to attach it and start moving it around. So we'll move this one over here. And we'll put that right on here. And I've got them like with 1/8 of an inch around the border. I didn't want too much white. I just wanted enough to give it, you know, a little bit to go through. See how you can move it when you use the multi-purpose glue? It gives you time to move it. So, okay, so that's that. We'll go ahead and attach these to the front of the card. So we're going to put those on our 2 flaps. So if y'all have dogs, y'all need to, let me make sure I got them going in the right direction. Y'all need to share pictures of your puppies, or, you know, even though it's National Puppy Day, so just share whatever puppies, you know, whatever doggies you have, or at least what kind that you have. I just love dogs, you know. You can't, how do you live without, even cats? Cats are okay. They're not, I'm not a cat person, so I don't want to offend anybody that's a cat person, Karen. They're just not for me, but they need love too. I did have a roommate early on that had a cat, and that cat was so deprived of attention that it would literally climb on the screen outdoors in the backyard. And then I was having a Tupperware party, I think it was, and I had made a tuna cheese ball, and the kitchen was kind of, you could see it from where the living room was, and one of my girlfriends was trying to get my attention. The cat was up on the counter, decided she was going to, or he, I think it was a she, decided they were going to start eating off the tuna ball. So, hi Pam, that must be you from North Carolina. So I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I was beside myself. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my my fish pieces on. I got to make sure I get my fish going the right direction. We're going to put these on these little strips of white. And then we're going to attach them, and that's pretty much it on the card other than putting our inside in. And I'm debating if I want to put anything on, this one's going to be really tight, if I want to put anything on the front, because there really isn't anything fishy-wise. I was thinking maybe doing one of the jellyfish. I might do that and cut him out and use him as a mechanism to help keep the card closed. So we'll see, oops, how that goes. So anytime, see how you got to be careful when you're working with, there we go. So we got that one on there. So I had not seen this card before. Oops. And so I thought this was cute. I got this from Wendy Cranford. I cased this from her. And she is located in California. And I'm going to put that there. I might trim some of these down if I got a little bit too much white, because I don't want them too much. I want them to be the same length, which I thought I measured them correctly, but you know how that goes. All right. So we'll put that on there. All right, so how's everybody coming with in your state with the vaccines? Are y'all are they opening up for more people to get vaccinated? I know they've opened it up here now to 50, which is good. So, all right, now what we're going to do is we're going to attach these, and my fish are going to be running this way, right? So, and I don't really want to cover up our beautiful little image, but that's what we're going to have to do. And then we're going to put one here. I think I'm going to put this one because it's got more white in the center. And then this guy, actually, I'm going to trim a little bit of this off just because it's a little bit more than what's on the other end. And then this guy, so all of our fish will be going in the right direction. So I'm going to attach these. All I'm going to do is add a little bit of adhesive on this side of these two. And then this one in the middle, I'm going to attach it on this side. So I'm only going to put adhesive on just a little bit, not much. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this down, and I want to make sure I got my fish going right. And we're just going to layer it. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I'm going to put that one right about there because we want it to act as our closing mechanism, but we don't want to put glue, so it, you know, I'm going to hold it down for a second. And then we're going to put this one down here, I think. And then these little guys we're going to put here. So let me do this one. So this one I'm going to add, I hate covering up this paper because it's so pretty, right? Let me get in the camera so you can see it. So I'm going to try to get these, and I'm not sure if I like the white behind it, but we're going to have to live with it now. It'll be all right. We're going to come up with something. All right, so we're going to attach this here. So I'm just going to lay that down, try to eyeball it, and make sure that it's even with the one at the top. So we'll hold that for a minute. And then this one, we're going to glue on this side. So I'm going to put some adhesive here. Wait till you see the next two cards. They're cute too. Okay, I think I got a little bit too much. Let me wipe some of that off. I'll blot it. All right, and then we're going to lay this one down and put that one right there. This one's got way too much white on it. All right, so this one is here. Now what I was thinking I would do, okay, so we're going to open that. Now this one we're going to go ahead and our fish, I guess I'm going to have them going upstream like that because they're going to be covered up. So we'll have it, otherwise they're going to look like they're swimming down. Well, we're going to have them swimming upstream. And this is a pretty paper. I hate covering it, but I want the fishies to show. Okay. So this is another way. I'm trying to use up designer paper too, if you all have noticed, because I know a lot of us, me included, we buy it and we don't use it all up before it you know, and next thing you know, we're buying all the new stuff because it's so pretty, right? And then we're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, what now? So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to bring in the Pretty Peacock. So we're going to bring in the ink and we're going to stamp our sentiment, and we're going to stamp some little fishies. So our sentiment is going to say, hoping all your birthday fishes come true. Isn't that cute? So we're going to go ahead and stamp that. Let me get that in here, make sure I got enough ink on it. And I'm going to place that right about here. All right, so there's that. Let me clean that off because now I'm going to come back and I think what I'm going to do, we're going to try this. I'm going to stamp this. This is one of the jellyfish. I'm going to stamp that and we're going to try to, I'm going to cut it out and see what it looks like for the mechanism on the inside. So let's try that. And then I want to come back with the fish and we're going to use Pool Party. Let me get that opened up here. And we're going to stamp some fishies on our card so we can have them coordinating with everybody, you know, with everything else. So we'll just put some fish kind of swimming around the sentiment. I think I need to re-ink my Pool Party. And we'll just have some coming off the page. Let's go over here. All right, and let's do some right about here. Whoops, hang on. Make sure I get my fish in there. All right, so there we go with our fish. Okay, so let's close that up, and we'll go ahead and attach that to the inside of the card. And let me move this over here out of the way. So let's go ahead and attach this. And then I'm going to see what this looks like by cutting this jellyfish out and see if we can use him as a closing mechanism. All right, so we'll put that there. And then you can write your sentiment, your message to the person. Oh, that's cute. Isn't that precious? Isn't that pretty? All right, so we're going to let that sit there. Okay, let me see if I can cut this guy out real quick. And I'm just going to do a quick, it's not going to be, you know, obviously the white's in there, but we're going to cut him out and see what this looks like. We'll try to leave, I'm going to come back and cut through those little, whatever we call those tentacle things. I'm right-handed, so I need to come around this way. It's the only way I know how to do it. So let's cut these guys. We're going to cut them kind of thin. So let's just go through here, and we're going to do this. See what it looks like. It might look goofy. Who knows? But all we can do is try, right? Because you don't try, you never know what it's going to look like. And, all right, so let's do that, and we'll cut a little there. I'm going to take those bubbles off that one. We're going to cut him out. Sorry. And let's see. I'm trying to see. Oh, cute and clever. Thank you, whoever said that. All right, so let's cut this one up. I just thought, you know, if we can come up with something else to help hold it together, this little guy might work. So let's just do a little cutting here with him. And we'll come around. All right, so he's cute. All right, so let's get all this mess out of the way. Hang on a minute. Got to keep my desk clean so I can move on to the next project here in a minute. All right, throw that over there. And I think this will be cute. Why don't we do that? He would be cute right there. Look at that. What do you think? Whoops, this guy has to go in. Well, hold on a minute. There, it goes like that. So we could do, oh, we'll put him right here because that would help hold it down, right? Or we could put him up there. What do y'all think? I think it should go in the middle. Why don't we put him like that? And then we'll glue it down because we don't want to, I don't want to pop him up. Well, I guess we could. Let's pop him up on a dimensional. Why not? We'll do that because we can. We'll just stick it right there. And we're going to have that hanging down. I'm going to have it hang on this one. Whoops. Got to take my backing off first. Let's do it here. We'll just put it like here. Let's do that. It might cover up some of the stuff, but that'll be all right. Yeah, that's cute. What do you think about that? So there we go. Cute, quick little card. And then we open it up, and there you go. So that's our first fun fold card. And actually, we could have put him over here, and that would have helped hold this down. But that's okay. All right, so there's our first card. Hi, Debbie Cox. Okay, so that's the first card that we're going to do. And I will add these dimensions to, even though I gave them to y'all, I'll add them to the page once I get all this done. I'll probably do it tomorrow. Because usually when we get done, I'm too tired. So, all right. The next one that we're going to do, let me get my little notes out, is we are going to do this fun fold and this like that. Isn't that cute? This is a very, I tell you, these are easy cards. And this, I'm not even sure, this is called, the person that made this one was Cheryl Hamilton, and she calls it a hinged closure. I thought that was cute. And again, I'm trying, this is the world of paper, so I'm trying to use up my designer series paper because obviously with the new catalog getting ready to come out, we've got to move this paper. And I have paper shares that I'll be doing, and so I definitely have to use it. So these are good ways, and maybe next week we might do maybe another one sheet wonder. Maybe I'll do a couple, I don't know, we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this one. Now this is Misty Moonlight. I was going to say Midnight Madness. That's Misty Moonlight is our card base, and we're using the Seaside View. I love this stamp because I love anything that has to do with the beach. So if you don't have this stamp, you really should order this, and it's really not that expensive. I think it's, I don't know, $21 or $22 maybe. And then we're also using the nested, stitch nested framelits, and these you're going to use the first and second largest, okay? And I'll give you the dimensions here in just a moment. So let's go ahead and pull out the supplies for this. This is another easy one too. All right, let me put that there. Okay, so now on your cardstock, you're going to cut this, and I've already cut it for you, at 5.5 by 7.5. Okay, now I haven't scored it, so it's going to be 5.5 by 7.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So it's just like the 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. We're just cutting it down so we have that opening. All right, so we want to score this at 4 1/4. So I'm going to line it up there at 4 1/4. Move my cutting blade, and we're just going to pull our scoring blade down and score that. So again, this piece of cardstock is 5.5 this way by 7.5. Okay, and then this piece we're going to fold over, and then we'll burnish it. Okay, so that's going to be our opening of our card. All right, then you're going to have a piece of Whisper White for the inside, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So that we'll put on the inside in just a moment. Again, very easy. Designer Series paper. This is going to be 2 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, so let's go ahead and we can add this one now. We're not going to put that one down yet because I'm going to show you what we're going to do. All right, so let's put some adhesive and go ahead and add our designer paper. And I thought, since this had some of the nautical, the compasses, which is nautical, I thought that would work perfect with our little beach motif here of what we're doing. So let's go ahead and add this on here. And I'm not putting any paper behind it. I'm just putting the Designer Series paper. Okay. All right. Now, so we have the largest and the next to largest stitch shape framelits. What we're going to do is we're going to, let me bring in my paper trimmer because I guess I should have done that too. We're going to take the largest one and we are going to line this up at 3 3/4. So we want our tip at 3 3/4 right there. Can you see that? Let me pull this down a little bit. Let's see if I can zoom in. Let's see if it zooms. All right, so we want the point to be at the 3 3/4 mark, and then we're going to score. Okay. All right. So that's what we're going to do on that. All right. Oh, let me go ahead and do this one too, because I just realized we got to cut this one. Okay, so on the white one, we are going to line this one up, and this one's going to be lined up at 3 1/2. So I've got my point right at the 3 1/2 mark, right? So right there, we're going to just trim this piece right off. That's going to butt up to our moonlight, misty moonlight. Okay. All right, so that's all we're going to do. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to take this, and where I scored it, we're going to fold it down and burnish it really good. Okay, now this is going to attach to our white piece on the inside. That's how we're going to attach it. Okay, so that's going to get attached just like that. Okay, that way you don't see it on the back side of the card. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to put some adhesive on here. We'll get to some stamping here in just a minute. And then I want to make sure I've got it centered, and I'm pretty confident I do. So we're just going to center that there. Okay. And then it'll open up. All right. So we're going to leave that like that. Now we're going to come in and we're going to stamp our chair and our sentiment. And again, we're making this very simple. So we are going to, as you can see, I'm going to stamp this in the Misty Moonlight. I'm not coloring it. It's just going to be like a tone on tone. All right, and plus we have our little chair, so we want to stamp this right about, let's do it right about there. So you're sitting here looking out at the ocean. Isn't that pretty? I just love these cards. All right, and then we're going to come in with our birds. Where are my birds? We're going to get our birds in here. Got to have our seagulls. All right, so we're going to just put a couple little seagulls here, have them flying around. All right, so that kind of takes and covers up that space right there, that little open space. All right, so let's close that up, put that ink over there because we don't need that anymore. And then we're going to attach this to this piece right here, just like that, right? Now you can wait and attach this first to here before you add that to the paper. So whatever works for you. Normally I would have done that, but I get excited, you know, when I stamp, and sometimes I do crazy things, but it's all good. So we're just going to lay this down here and layer it, and it's going to come right to where that crease is. I'm going to move it up just a notch. So it really is going to butt right up to the crease, to the fold. Okay. All right. So there's that. Now we're going to do the inside of our card. I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I guess I need my ink again, don't I? See, I told you these are going to be easy cards. Good evening. How is everyone? So now we're going to do our sentiment. Take time for yourself, which is what we all need right about now, don't you think? And I'm just going to put it on this side. Okay. And then the last thing is I cut using one of the, I think it might have been, I'm not sure what size. It's one of the smaller, probably the 1-inch circle punch. And I'm just going to, just to decorate the inside. And, you know, again, if you have the paper, which I should have done, but I didn't, we can decorate our envelopes. So don't forget to decorate your envelopes to use up your paper. And we're just going to put this down on the inside of the piece of for the inside of our card. All right. So now all we have to do is add our adhesive and attach this to our card. And we'll get that on there. Okay. And then we're going to take this. And this white piece again is 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to lay it in here and get it all lined up. And we should be good to go with that. Close that up. And there you go. Isn't that an easy card? And it just looks so cute. Look at that. I just love the colors. I love the nautical theme. And then you can add whatever else to the inside that you want. So remember to make sure that you share, because that helps me meet new customers, and leave comments so your name will go in the drawings for these cards. So this is the second card that we've made. Now let me move this out of the way, and we're going to get on to the next card, which is a little bit, it's an easy card too, but it's a little bit more involved. I've kind of took them from a stepped up version. All right, so there's our second card. All right, so I'm glad you all love that. Give me a minute. I am going to, let me clean off my ink, my stamps right here real quick, because I don't like leaving my ink sitting on them. It drives me crazy. You know, there's really, some things bother me and some things don't. But I'll tell you, I'm not OCD, but if I can't find something, my husband will tell you I will go completely nutso crazy until I can locate whatever it is I'm looking for. So, okay, so let's move this out of the way. Now, the next card is a double Dutch. Let me get my notes. Oh, I'm double Dutch. We're doing jump rope and double Dutch. It's a Dutch door. Okay, so let me get my notes on that one. And this is the one that whoops, hang on. Stuck to me. Here is the one. Now, the one I'm going to make for you all is going to be a little different. But this I use the In the Tropics. And this is the back side of the art gallery paper. And I'm using orange, what is my orange called? Oh, pumpkin pie card base with Flirty Flamingo. Because if you look, there's Flirty Flamingo in this paper, in the designer series paper. And then I stamped and I used our blends, the ones that are on back order, the flower itself, and then you open it up, and then there's the door, and then there's your sentiment. And this one is a birthday card. And I just took the sponge and just did a little bit of sponging on the inside of that. So let me get it back in the camera. Isn't that cute? So this is this one. Now the one I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it this way. So you can have it open this way. Obviously this one's not because of the way I stamped it. But you can have it like this, or you can have it like that. Okay? I guess I should show it so y'all can look. All right, so this is what we're going to make, this card right here. But we're going to do in red. And we're going to use, let me get my stuff out. We're going to use the dog and cat set because it's National Puppy Day. But because it's National Puppy Day, I'm going to use a kitty cat because I haven't used the cat in our cards. I've done the dog, so today is going to be for the cats. All right, so let me get my supplies out, and we will go through this. Give me just a minute. Let me get all my stuff over here so I can get organized. I've got everything pre-cut, which will save time, except for the cardstock, because that one, this one's a little bit, you got to pay attention. And I'm using the paper again. So don't forget when you're looking at your flowered, like the art gallery paper, don't forget to use the back sides because this is a really neutral, and you can use this for anything. I'm late but here. Who's that? Tell me who you are, if you don't mind. All right, so let's start with our real red card. No, I'm sorry. I'm using Poppy Parade. Am I using Poppy? Hang on a minute. Am I using Poppy Parade? I think I am. I am. So I need to go get my, hang on a minute. I got my real red. I don't want real red. Let me get my Poppy Parade ink. Give me 1 second. I don't know what I was thinking. I grabbed the real red because I was thinking it was red. But I like the Poppy Parade. So, okay. So, let's move all of this out of the way. Let me get my animals over here. Let me get my instructions. Put all my stuff over here. This is the set that we're going to use, which is the Pampered Pets. It's got your kitty cats and you got your 2 dogs. And it also comes with dies. But if you don't have the dies, you can always fussy cut everything. So, that's no big deal. All right, so that's what we're doing. All right, so in comes the paper cutter. Now, this is where you got to really pay attention and take notes. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're cutting an 8.5 by 11. Let me get my arm opened up. All right, so we're going to cut this down to, all right, so this is 8.5, right? So I'm going to cut this down to 8 inches. So I'm just going to cut it down to 8. So I'm going to line this up at the 8-inch mark. And we're going to cut this, so we're going to take this 1/2 inch off. All right, so we're going to get rid of that. Now we're going to turn it, if I can get this paper out of there. All right, so now we're going to turn it, and we're going to cut it at 7 1/8. Okay, so you've got the 7, and then there's a little line, and then there's the a longer line, which is your 1/8, and then you got another small one, and then you have your 1/4. So we're going to go to 7 1/8. And we're going to line it up right there. And we're going to cut that down. 7 1/8. So the paper is going to be 7 1/8 by 8. Okay. Now we're going to take it on the 8-inch side. Let me make sure I got my 8-inch side. Yep. Okay. So on the 8-inch side, we're going to score it at 2 inches and 6. So I'm going to move this to the 6-inch since we're right there. All right, so we're going to place this at the 6-inch mark, and we're going to score, and then we're going to bring it down to 2 inches and score. And this is on the 8-inch side, so we're going to score at 2 and 6, all right? Now we're going to turn it, and we are going to score at 2 3/8, and 2 3/8 is going to be 1 mark less than the 1/2, or 2 marks, I should say. So we're going to go to 2 1/4, and then that 2 3/8 is right there. All right, now on this one, we're going to score, and this one we're going to score it all the way down, okay? Now, we're going to flip this over because I want to get to the other side, all right? And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to line this up at 2 3/8, but what we're going to do is we're going to score down to this score line right here. That's where our score line is. So we're going to score it down here. And if you look at your trimmer, and I'll pull this up in just a second, on your blade, there's a mark there. So, and with that dot, you can see where you need to go. All right, so we're going to pull it down to that first score line and score. Then we're going to lift it up and bring it down to the next score line and place it there. And we're going to go ahead and score that one. So this square right here is not going to have a score in it. Okay. All right, does that make sense? So let me show you. Let me move this out. Oh, we got it. Yeah, we're good. Hang on a second. I'll show you in just a second. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, so if you can see, I don't know if you can see my score lines. All right, so we've got score lines here, and we have this one goes all the way through, and then we have these 2 coming down, right? But here, if I can get it, we have a score line all the way through. This one, we, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, right here. See right here? This piece is completely open. So we scored and stopped, brought it over and scored and stopped, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to cut off. We're going to have a T. So we're going to cut up here. Let me fold my thing so we can see our score lines, okay? Let's do this one. And then you can see where we're going to be cutting. And then let's fold up to this. Let's fold this one so that we can see what we need to do here. Okay. All right, so when we get done, we're going to have a T. All right, so we are going to cut here. All right, so we're going to cut this flap up to the score line. All right, right there. And then we're going to remove this whole section, okay? So we've got that. So let me go ahead and remove this. I probably should have had my big scissors, but that's all right. Probably should have used the paper trimmer, huh? That's okay. All right, so we're just going to get it cut, and I'll trim it up if I need to. All right, so you can trim this on your trimmer, actually. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. All right, so we're going to come up here. So when we get done, we're going to have the shape of a T. And that's going to go there. And then this one, we're just going to trim all of this off. I'm trying to see my lines here. And we'll trim this one all the way up. You know what? I think I just screwed up. I think I just made a boo-boo. Pretty sure I did. I did. I think I should have done the opposite side. Hang on a minute. I think I did because I've got to have my flap. Do, score to the line. Hang on a minute. I did. I need to score. Let me see. What did I do? I got these. Oh, I didn't score. What in the world? Wild World of Sports did I do? Oh, I put my score. I should have cut the other one off. What a dork. Yeah, let me just score this. This is going to be covered up because, yeah, when we came down, I should have not scored up here. I should have left the, I should have had a score line here, which I put here. So I should have reversed on how I cut these. So when you cut it, you want to have your flaps down here and that score line up here that we want to remove those flaps, and I removed the wrong ones. So I should have removed these and not those, okay? Because this would have been my card flap down. So I should have left those, but it'll still work. We're good. So I'll just go in and score this because this was scored at 2 and, what did we say? 2 3/8, right? So I'll just come in and score it. And this piece right here, we're not going to see because it's going to be hidden with our panel. So I will write this down so you all have it right. So I'm going to go over this with you in just a second because now I've probably totally confused y'all. All right, so we want 2 1/4, 2 3/8 right there. So we're going to score that. So this is going to be our fold. My mistake. Okay, it'll still work. Okay, so let's go over this again. Your card stock is going to be 7 1/8 by 1/8, and you're going to score it 2 6. Okay, 2 6. Let me just put these back on here. 2 6. Then we're going to do, you're going to score all the way down on one side, and then we're going to skip, and like we did, instead of here, we needed to skip it up here. Okay, so we fold it. It'll still work out. It'll be fine, but I'll show you the instructions when we get done. But we're going to make our card open this way. So let me go ahead and fold this. See, I told you, I make mistakes. I mean, it's like every Tuesday. It's a comedy hour, but we're going to make it work. Okay, so that's okay. We're going to have our card go like this. We're going to open it this way instead. All right, and I am going to, let me see. Let me trim up my sides just a little because I'm a little bit on the right side of the score line instead of the left. So let me just trim that side up just a little bit. And I think this one's good. Yep, that one's good. See, I can see it, this one right here. Give me 1 second. I can see it being a little cattywampus right here. There we go. All right, put that in there. Much better. Okay, there we go. So there's our card. Now, what we're going to do is we've got our pieces. So now, here's what we need. I'm going to use a base of black. And this is, inside, this is 3 3/4 by 4 1/2. And then I've got a piece of Whisper White that will decorate. And this is 3 5/8 by 4 3/8. So that's going to go right here. So you can see you're not going to see that Now they'll see it on the back, but whoever gets the card, they're not going to know the difference. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And then I've got, for the flap up here, I've got a black and a piece of the Designer Series paper. And this piece right here is 2 1/8 by 3 3/4. And then our Designer Series paper is 2 inches by 3 5/8. Okay, so we'll add that. I'm going to put that there. And then we're going to do 2 of our basic black. And these are going to be on the doors. So this is going to be, 2 are going to be at 1 3/4 by 2 1/8. And then the designer paper will be 1 5/8 by 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these down here, and then I'll go ahead and give you the last piece that we'll be doing the dimensions for that. So let's go ahead and add our designer paper onto our cardstock. So you want to go with a, like a generic pattern. So depending on which way you're going to put your card, which way you're going to have it open, just keep that in mind. Because if you're going to have it open sideways, then you want to make sure your designer paper doesn't have a pattern that needs to go a different direction. Okay? All right. See, we can, anytime you think you make a mistake, it's just an opportunity to change it up and do something different. So that's what we're doing. We're just going to make that work. And whoever gets the card is not going to know that that score is not supposed to be there or not. They're not going to know. They're not going to flip the card around and look at it. You know what I'm saying? It's not, they don't know. They don't know what we're doing. Unless they're a card maker. But seriously. Okay. So this one we're going to put on here. So this is going to be that's going to go on the front, the flap. So this will go. All right, so this one's going to go on here. Let me pull this off for a minute because we're going to stamp on that one. So let's go ahead and put this together. And if this is your first time watching, let me know. Just leave me a little comment that it's your first time, and you'll see why I call it the comedy hour, because half the time we never know what I'm going to do that's right or wrong. But you got to roll with it, right? You got to roll with it. Can't get too stressed out over stuff like this. This is supposed to be fun and therapeutic, and we definitely need to have some therapy till we can get out of the houses and get out, right? So let's put, I'm going to put this like that. Let's put that like that. All right, we're going to put those there, and this one I'll do the same. Just puts the lighter shade a little bit towards the side. Now these are going to be on the side because I'm going to turn this card and show you how we can make it open a different direction. So we're going to lay that one right there. See, it's really an easy card. It's just a matter of getting the cutting and scoring done the correct way. Not like what the teacher did. Just don't do my mistakes. Okay, so there's our card. All right, now what we're going to do is I'm going to make it this way. So now you're going to need a basic black that's going to be 2 3/4 square. And then I'm using Bumblebee, which is this color here. This is the same 2 3/4 square. And then our Whisper white piece that we're going to stamp on is 2 5/8 square, or 2 5/8 by 2 5/8, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and stamp our images. And let's add, now this is going to go in here, so we're going to stamp this too. So let's do this one first, and then we'll see what we want to put on the inside of the card. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, since we're going to use a kitty cat, we need to stamp him or her in black. And then we'll do just a little bit of coloring, not a whole lot, just a little. And I'm going to stamp this little critter. I'm going to stamp her right about here. Okay. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment on the front. We're going to use the I hope your day is a real treat. So we're going to stamp that up here. Make sure I got some ink on here. And we're going to place that right, let's put it on this side. And we'll stamp that right about here. I'm going to kind of leave it offset. I probably should have centered it, but I'm going to leave it like that. All right. So there's that for now. We'll figure out what we're going to do on the inside in just a minute. So let me go ahead and cover up these inks for now. We're going to do a little bit of coloring. It's not going to be much. And then we're going to add a little touch to this to make it really fun. Okay, so I'm going to pull in, I've got the Stampin' Blends, and this is the Ivory. I'm just going to color the little kitty cat's inside of his ears. I'm just going to color those ivory, and our cat's going to be kind of a gray cat, all right? And then we're going to come in with a little bit of the dark smoky slate, and I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of where the artist has done a few things, and then I want to put a little bit of darkness on her back and maybe down here on her belly area. We'll go around on her butt too. All right, and then we're going to come back and color. We're going to blend all this in. So then I'm going to take my light color and start blending. You know what? I'm going to go with the smaller tip because I always get afraid I'm going to go outside the lines and mess up my colors. So I'm just going to, I just make little swirls. No right or wrong way. Everybody has their own preference of how they color. And we'll probably leave some little lighter shades in here, openings to kind of look like she's got some white streaks on her or something. Who knows? We'll just see what the pencil does, and we may come back and who knows? Let's just see. We'll color. So let me do that real quick. Won't take too long. All right. So tomorrow, everybody's all excited. All of our sites are, everybody's talking about what they're going to do. They're trying to think of what the new in colors are going to be. Let me try to blend these in some more. And so tomorrow we'll find out what the new in colors are. They've been running some little videos giving us hints of some items. So who knows? We'll find out tomorrow, soon enough, huh? All right, and I think we'll do that. We'll leave her with a little white on her neck. How's that? Let's color this part in. I don't like this right here. That dark's a little not blending very well. Little kitty cat. And she got a little white right there. Let's cover that one up. Okay, there we go. All right, now, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a little, and I'm not sure if this is retired or not. I think it's 3/8. I'm not even sure what. Yeah, 3/8 of an inch. I'm gonna pop this out a little circle here. We're gonna pop this out. Then I'm taking the gray twine from the golfing one that retired, and I'm gonna take a piece of this twine, and I'm cutting that off, and we're gonna make this look like a ball of. I'm gonna make it look like a ball of twine, and the cat's going to be playing with it. So I'm going to put a glue dot on the back, and then I'm going to attach my twine right there, and we'll put this, let's see, we want to have the kitty cat, let's see, let's put the kitty cat, should we put like that, playing with the ball, or should I have the thread? I think he's probably going to be playing with the ball, right? The cat will be playing with the ball of, let me put another glue dot on here. Hang on a second, because I got the ribbon. What did I do with my glue dots? Oh, right in front of me, see? See what happens? We're almost done. So, oh, 7:58, look at that. We're going to be right on time, I think, or close enough. Okay, there we go. We're going to put this little ball right there, and then we're going to curl this little guy around, and I'm going to try to spread this out a little bit. So the yarn, there we go. We're going to spread that out just a tad. And I'm just going to take a little bit of Tombow, and I'm just going to put a little dot right here because I want to just hold this. I just want the twine to kind of do a little loop-de-doop, you know, like it's laying on the floor. So kind of make it like that. So we'll put a little dot right here. All right. So we'll take that and we're going to press that down right there. Let me just hold that for just a second. And that dries and we'll be good to go. Isn't that cute? I think that's just so precious. That's going to be the front of our card. Okay. All right. So now we're going to come in with our black piece. And these we're going to line up. And we'll do the inside in just a minute. The black one is going to be attached like this in this diamond shape, okay? So what we want to do, because we're opening it this way, we only want to put adhesive from here over, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive. Just, I'm not going to go too far down because I don't want to mess that thing up. All right, so we're going to do that. And we're going to turn this. Oh, did I mess this up again? Lord have mercy, Dawney. And we're going to, I did. Hang on. I messed up. Let me get a piece of black and cut it again. I'm such a dork. Hang on. Good thing I'm sitting next to my paper. Right? So I can get in here and grab a piece. All right, let me cut one more. I don't know what I was thinking. I probably should stick it on the thing. All right, so I need 2 3/4. 2 3/4 square. All right, I thought we were going to be done 2 3/4, so let's cut that down right there. So we're going to cut 2 3/4 and make this 2 3/4 right there. All right, let's see if we can do this again. Yep. Okay, move this out of the way. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, let's try that again. Let me move my little piece over here out of the way. All right, so we want him to go like that. So I want glue right here. So I'm going to put it right here. Right here. All right. And we're going to lay that down like this. So we want our tip to go right at the top there and come down to the bottom here. So I'm just going to lay it right like that and let that sit for just a minute. And let me turn it just a tad so we are even. There we go. All right, so that's going to go there. Now this one is going to get attached right on here. That's going to go straight on this one. All right, so we'll go ahead and attach that while we're waiting for that other one to dry. All right. So we'll put that on here. Isn't that cat cute? He's just such a little cutie. And she's smiling. She's a happy kitty. She's happy that it's National Puppy Day. All right, and then this one, we're just going to attach it right like that. Okay, so I'm just going to put glue right in the center down. So I'm only going to come, I'm not going to go real far up because I don't want to screw that up either. So I'm just going to do it right in the center. So we're going to lay this down and we'll put it just like that. Line it up and just lay it down right there. Probably could have added a little bit more this way, but that's okay. All right, so there's the front of our card. Now we're going to open this up and we want to do the inside. So we need to stamp the inside. So let's see what we've got in our box of goodies over here. Well, let's see. Why don't we do a little mouse? Let's stamp a little mouse in the corner, and then what we'll do is we'll leave room for a message. So let me open up. Oh, I've got glue dots all over everywhere. Let me get my black ink. Let's do a mouse. So let's stamp a mouse and, nope, this is the hearts. We don't want the hearts. We want a mouse. Where'd the mouse go? Oh, here he is. Here's a mouse. We're going to put him on the inside. So let's put a little mouse down at the bottom. So we're going to put that right there. Let's put 2, like they're following each other. All right, so we got 2 mice, and let's see what else can we do. We got room, and we can put some love. I want to do some hearts, and we'll do some little love. Enjoy your treats, and then we're going to put some love. We'll do those in the poppy. All right, so we'll just put a couple of little hearts up here, and we'll put some over here. All right, and then whatever. You can write your message. Okay, so this is now going to be attached to this piece here. So we're going to put that on here. Are y'all still with me? All righty. All right, so this is going to go on here. Oh, and let me, while I'm putting this together, the names that were drawn from last week were Karen, Joe, and Tony Arnold. So I have both of y'all's addresses. So I'll get the cards out in the mail for last week. I'll get them out in the mail to you tomorrow. And if Judy DeGata is on here, if you haven't heard, if you weren't on when I said this earlier, would you please message me with your address? I've started a list so that I don't have to keep asking everybody for their addresses. So once I have your address, I've made a list so that I'll have it and I don't have to keep asking you. Unless you're somebody I haven't mailed something to before. So, all right, so we're going to lay that right there. So that's covering up that seam where I made the boo-boo, okay? And then we're going to close this up, and then there's our card. Isn't that cute? So there you go. I hope your day is a real treat. And the little kitty cat's got his little ball of yarn. Isn't that precious? And then we open it. There goes the gate. And then there's the mice running and the hearts. How's that? All right, so those are the cards we made this evening. So let me bring those back out so you can see what we've done in case somebody came in late. So we've got the hinged, what do we call it? A hinged door, a hinged closure. So here is a hinged closure. And again, we're trying to use up our designer series paper so we can make room for the catalog. New paper in the catalog. This is a Dutch door that I just did with the kitty. And then here is just a 3 hinged, I'm not sure what it was this called. I don't think this one had a name, did it? Let me see. Hang on a second. I gotta look at my notes. Nope, this one did not have a name. And then this one we're using the Well Done, and open it up, and then there's all our fishes. So there you go. I hope you all enjoyed these cards. Let me lay them down so you can get a good look at them. How's that? Let me pull the kitty cats back in. Okay, let me put you back up right there. My nose is itching again. Thank you. All right, everybody. Thank you so much I came late, so we'll watch the first of the replay. Okay, great. All right, so here are your fun fold cards. Thank you again for taking time out of your Tuesday to watch me stamp. And if you guys have suggestions of cards that you'd like to see me make, please just send me a message or leave a comment or whatever. That would be fine. I'm trying to do different things for to adjust to new people, like beginner stampers, so it's not so difficult for them. And then I also want to keep it where the more experienced folks can you know, not feel like that it's so simple. But sometimes simple is better. But anyway, so these are the cards that we made. Thank you again. I really appreciate you all spending time with me. I always have so much fun doing these Facebook Lives. And I really do appreciate all of you watching and your comments. I really appreciate it, and sharing. And if you don't have a demonstrator, I'd be more than happy to work with you. And if you'd like a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, let me know. Either message me with your name and mailing address, because I do need to close that out before the end of the month. I have my catalogs mailed directly from Stampin' Up. It's just too much work for me to sit and put them all together. So, but if you don't have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, let me know and I'll put you on my list so you can get one. And if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, I send out a weekly newsletter that gives you sometimes you'll get previews of things that others don't get you'll get it ahead of time. And I try to put a couple of different projects in there with directions, and then some other fun stuff. So anyways, and you can get that you can sign up at shallwestamp.com, or you can also do it on Facebook on my Shall We Stamp 1 Facebook page. All right, thanks again, everyone. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all next Tuesday. And enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye now.